It's time for... Oh, oh, sorry, Crusty. Whew. Oh my God. Once again, from a top secret, undisclosed location, hidden somewhere deep in the bowels of historic downtown St. John's, Newfoundland, way out on the far eastern reaches of North America, comes in the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, me, Crazy Wallace Ryan. Okay, how's everyone out there today? Hope you're doing well. Cheers. Some good old tea to start the day. Well, it's we actually got some snow here this weekend out here, and then today outside right now it's raining, so it's taking away all that snow, just in time for Christmas, of course. So I only had one new book last week, so where the other episode was so close behind, I decided, well, I'm going to wait until Tuesday when the new DC books are out, and I figured then I could throw them into the mix and see how it goes. In the meantime, let's see, any other big news. I actually finished reading Kent State last night, and what a book. Highly recommend it. Oh, let's give the old spinner rack a spin. Just to have that lovely noise involved there. Well, yeah, great book, so highly recommend it. Speaking of highly recommended, starting the Sunday past, my good friend Dennis Osbourne and co-host at Thursday Comics podcast, we started our 12 Books of Christmas countdown. And what it is we selected 12 of our favorite books from the past year. Could involved graphic novels and collected editions. And we're going through, instead of giving them all out in one episode, we decided, let's do a 12 Days of Christmas type of approach. And so we decided what we'd do is we'd have a bunch of just 10-minute episodes, and we just talk about starting on Sunday with book number 12, and we reveal both of our choices for number 12. And like our giant size editions, we kept our lists from each other. So the shock, surprise, anger, happiness that you hear over each other's choices is real. There have so far been no fistfights or name calling, but you never know. But yeah, check it out. So today would be, I think, is number 10. Yeah, because Sunday was 12, 11, 10 today, so check it out. It's popping up on your favorite podcast providers, from iTunes to Spotify to FM Player this week, one of our new ones, and a bunch of other ones. So check it out. We're out there having fun and telling it like it is, but telling it like it is in a smart way. And oh yeah, of course, good news out there. The vaccine is finally out for COVID, so hopefully things are going to start turning around for all of us, hey? Anyway, let's get down to what we came here for, which is comics. Yeah. Now, I'm going to go, first of all, actually, with the one from last week, which is Adventureman, The End and Everything After, by Matt Fraction and the Dodsens. Love the Dodsens artwork and all that. This is I haven't read this yet myself, but I've read a lot of reviews about it, and the reviews seem to be genuinely positive. And it's about a pulp superhero, and who no one seems to remember. And this mother and her son seem to be the only two people who remember this superhero. And so they go about, I guess, trying to find out what the story is. But yeah, so for anyone who likes pulp or science heroes, that type of thing, this is I think this is the perfect book for you. And of course, it has an all-star team. Excuse me. Well, let's have a cup of tea to keep them sneezes down. Okay. No more sneezes. It has an all-star cast featuring Matt Fraction, well known for his work on Hawkeye and many other things. Iron Fist. An all-around good writer. I like Fraction stuff. Plus, he has the coolest name. Come on. Terry Dodsen, Rachel Dodsen. Terry on pencils, Rachel on inks. And an amazing, amazing team. Clayton Cowles as the letterer and so on. But yeah, it's I love the look of it. It's the design of the book is really cool. So let me get close up here for you. I always love the Dodsen's work from way back when. Absolutely. I mean, isn't that a cool widescreen? Or, well, it used to be called double page spread. I kind of like widescreen these days. But yeah, there's a simplicity and a beauty to Dodsen's work that I absolutely adore. So, there we go. Look at that. Another widescreen. But yeah, absolutely beautiful artwork. Oh, there's another cool full widescreen effect there. Of course, we all know that Jack Kirby was the king of the two-page spread, or the widescreen panel. Look at that there. Love the artwork. So yeah, this is I think this is definitely a book worth picking up. And a single mom as the hero in it. I won't show too much. There you go. Beautiful artwork. It's really is it has a pulpy feel to it. I like the Art Deco approach to the design and everything. So all around, a nice little package there. I'm sure it's an adventure to read. One that I shall embark upon sometime soon. Okay. Whew. Boy, that sneeze is still staying with me, as you can hear. Oh, hang on a second. Hello? No. Yes. No. Yes. Okay, bye. Okay, no more personal calls. Next comes, and I actually have a Deadman Omnibus, the one from, God, it was 10, 15 years, more than 15 years ago, what am I saying? That came out, it was in a slipcase and all that, but it only had the Deadman Neal Adams stories. So when the Deadman Omnibus came out, it took me about 10 seconds to decide to get it. But there's several reasons I wanted to get it, besides the fact that it looked damn cool. Here we go. This is the classic scene of him standing over his own body. Well, let's have a look at with the dust jacket off here. And there it is. That's the illustration that wraps around the cover. There is the spine, and here's the front. Now, let's talk Deadman for a second. Deadman, of course, was created by Arnold Drake and Carmine Infantino. Never did meet Drake, but I did meet Carmine one time. Drake, he did a lot of writing. His two other big creations were Doom Patrol, of course, which he wrote like forever, and he did some writing for also for Marvel, and his most famous creation from that would have to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Not bad, hey? So, and he also did It Rhymes with Lust, which is considered a very early graphic novel from St. John's Comics way back in the 50s. So yeah, he was quite the writer, and he actually, I think even in one of the Doom Patrol DC archives, he actually wrote the introduction to it. But yeah, so he started off with Deadman, and I'm not sure if he wrote for very many episodes. Because Neal Adams took over. Yeah, that's right. He wrote the first one and the second one. Then Jack Miller took over, and then actually Neal Adams took over and wrote, and Bob Haney wrote a little bit. But funny enough, the Neal Adams ones, it wasn't too bad actually. Oh yeah, there was a Phantom Stranger episode that Drake also wrote, including him. Denny O'Neil wrote one, Mike Frederick, Bob Haney, and then Paul Levitz here. Cary Bates gave it a try, and a bunch of different other people. Len Wein did a few with Jim Aparo, and so on. Anyway, not only did this have, like I say, have the original series, but it also had from the Challengers of the Unknown, the 78 series. It has that in it, which Deadman appears and makes quite the appearance. And it was written, drawn by Keith Giffen, and I actually liked that series when I was growing up. So when I seen that this not only had the complete Neal Adams series in it, but also had the Giffen series, and then some of the other later stories, I decided, including a couple of Phantom Strangers that I also had. I figured, okay, I gotta get this. This sounds like something that I would love. And I think Fred Carrillo, I do believe. I mean, Mike Grell did the first, I think, appearance of the Phantom Stranger in Deadman in the Phantom Stranger, and then for the ones after that, and there were a couple of World's Finest episodes, which I also had actually as a kid because I was a World's Finest, and then Levitz took over with the Phantom Stranger, but Fred Carrillo took over the drawing, and I kind of liked his artwork, so it was definitely well worth getting. So, but like I say, it's the other thing too about the first Deadman story. It is actually the first use of someone narcotics in a Comics Code comic, so it kind of beats all the others. It also won 2 Alley Awards, the first time for Infantino and for Arnold Drake, and the following year, 68, for Neal Adams. So it's an award-winning series. But yeah, it's well worth picking up. It's especially the early, of course, the early all the early Adams stuff. I mean, it's groundbreaking. A lot of the layouts, a lot of the techniques he did were really cool, and I'll show you one of them now in a second. But definitely worth picking up. I mean, it's one of the historic series. Now let me just take this. Just to make it easier to handle, I'll take the beautiful dust jacket off, and I'll approach the bench with this. Now, this I'm going to show you. This page in particular, I love. This one right here. This one has you can see Deadman's face in there, but it's sort of worked into the panel. There's something different happening in every panel, but really, it's when you look back, when you stand back from it, you realize that it's actually a drawing of Deadman himself, and yet it works into every little panel. Is not necessarily like that, like you see him there as a small thing, but you can sort of see the eye and all that. But yeah, it was very, very cool. Great artwork. There's also the famous panel where they have this lettering that says, mentions Steranko. But yeah, artwork, absolutely stunning. That's a Batman from Brave and the Bold, also done by Neal Adams. But yeah, the Adams artwork was Adams as he really started to rock and roll. I do believe he inked most of this himself too. But yeah, so well worth picking up. Now, of course, the very first one was which was this one. Started in Strange Adventures. This one was done by, the artwork was by Infantino. But yeah, like I say, great series. Love it, love it, love it. The artwork, the design is just spectacular. And it's some of Adams' best written stuff. His written stuff from years later just wasn't up to snuff, but this stuff is... Oh, there we go. There's the famous panel there. When you turn it on the side here, you can actually read what it says there. So yeah, and here's another famous legendary page. Absolutely stunning. But yeah, and this was a Challengers of the Unknown, which starts out with George Tosca on the art, and then it switches over to Neal, and Neal finishes it off. Then there's a couple of clips from an appearance in Justice League, and some Jim Aparo, Mike Grell. So yeah, there's a wide range of different ones. And then this is the Fred Carrillo with the Phantom Stranger one, also a beauty. And then on and on we go till we get to the Keith Giffen stuff. And I actually really like this series. It also involved the Swamp Thing, so it was sort of like a neat mixture of all of them. Look at that, with John Salerno inking him. Definitely cool. And then back to some Jim Aparo stories. And then there was a Jose Garcia Lopez series, I do believe. Yeah. But yeah, all around, definitely well worth reading. Just want to kiss you many times. So yeah, definitely well worth picking up. So let's toss this and its dust jacket aside here. And our final one for today is the Books of Magic Omnibus. Dun, 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 dun. Another beauty from DC Comics. Now this started off, of course, with Neal Gaiman, and it actually they originally tried to get J.M. DeMatteis, John Muth, Kent Williams, and Dave McKean to do a Magic series, but more of like a prose type of thing, and you know they struggled with that back and forth, and they finally begged off it, and Neal Gaiman came into the picture, and he created this hero more or less based on his, you know, his childhood himself, and reading books in the library and stuff like that. And he wrote a series where basically Timothy Hunter gets basically drawn into the world of magic by the what they call the Trenchcoat Brigade, which is like what's it, Phantom Stranger, Mr. E. Who was it, Mr. E? Phantom Stranger, Mr. E. And no, there were a couple of them anyway. There were a couple of these magic people anyway. But yeah, it's pretty cool. John Constantine was another one. That's right. So yeah, it was a great series, mainly because I mean the art was fabulous in it, and the art was shared in the original. Came out in a 4-issue series. First of all, the Invisible Labyrinth was the first one. Came out in a 4-issue series. John Bolton did the first issue. Scott Hampton did the second. Charles Vest did the third, and Paul Johnson did the fourth. And it was pretty darn cool. Then there's a couple of appearances from Mr. E, and then the Children's Crusade, and it goes on, and then eventually ends up in its own series. So I haven't really read much of the Books and Magic series itself, which ran for quite a few issues. And this has up to number 32. That goes further than that. This is just volume 1. But here's the cover there. Now this, of course, was way back in 1990, so this actually predated. Oh, I have to take it out because it's a huge one. Here's the cool dust jacket. Beautiful, eh? Books of Magic. And here's the naked book itself, which has a very cool wraparound cover on it itself. I liked this series when it came out, and like I say, it predates Harry Potter. It was 1990, I do believe, was the very first one. And but yeah, and especially the very first Gaiman series, loved it, absolutely loved it. So for you Magic fans, you mystical fans, after Gaiman left it, John Ney Ryber took over for a while, and then later on Peter Gross did some, and he actually was one of the few writers who actually wrote and drew some episodes, and his art is actually pretty good. So worth checking out for you Magic fans. Here, I'll give you a close-up look at this here now. The art, especially in the first few issues, is absolutely stunning. And then we get into that Mr. E book there, and then so yeah, all around it's an interesting looking story. But yeah, definitely worth it, if only for the full run of it. The Books of Fairy. So yeah, another beautiful addition to. Not only says, funny enough, it says DC. It doesn't say Vertigo on it, even though it really is a Vertigo book. Oh. Anyway, that's about it for this week. Like I say, once again, check out my next episode. Oh yeah, and also check out. I mean, I know I have the Library of Graphic Literature Facebook page, but I also have a Facebook page just for the show itself in the Library of Graphic Literature. So there's a separate Facebook page for that. Check it out. It has every episode now posted to it, and the new ones as they come along will be posted too. So check that out. Also check out, once again, Thursday Comics podcast, especially this week with our 12 books of Christmas. Today is number 10, tomorrow will be 9, and so on and so forth. So check it out. Me and Dennis put a lot of heart and soul into it, and it's a lot of fun anyway. That being said, it's time for me to boom tube it out of here. Okay, folks. Once again, keep on reading them comics. Love you all out there. And thanks for having me over. Yes? No, I want a boom tube. I don't want to talk to you. Give me a boom tube. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. That has to be the 232nd biggest boom tube I've ever seen. Okay. Love y'all. See you next week. Or in a few days, whatever. Bye. Woo.